I thought my death was a bit namby-pamby. I'm supposed to be a Master Jedi, you know. My character fell for that. Oh, I'm going for your face? No, I'm not. I'm going for your stomach. Oh, you got me. Oh, please. Hardly a Master Jedi. Schindler's List.
I'll go along with it. It's just irritating. I can't work it out.
Look, all you have to do is tell me what it's worth to you. What's a person worth to you?
No. What's one worth to you?
I had read the script sent to me by my agent. I thought it was beautiful, absolutely beautiful script of an extraordinary story. My first conversation with Stephen, I had met him before, years before, but Stephen wanted me to do a little screen test with him. He was the camera operator. I had prepared a couple of things from the script. The whole thing might have lasted maybe 40 minutes, 45 minutes. And I remember leaving Amblin Studios, where he had an office, thinking, well, if I don't get this part, it doesn't matter. I've just spent 3/4 of an hour with one of the great directors in the world. And he was operating the cameras too, you know. And I was doing a play in New York. I was focused on that and, you know, kind of forgot about this little screen test I'd done. Yeah, Stephen offered me the part and I was kind of shocked. And it was to start photography after I wrapped the play. So I remember wrapping the play and I think it was early March. 24 hours later, 36 hours, I was out in Poland, in Krakow, which is where we were going to shoot the film, you know. I had read the book, Schindler's Ark, by Thomas Keneally. I had read quite a lot over the years, stuff on the Holocaust and the Second World War. And the more I read the script, the more profound I thought that whole era was, and this murder of over 6 million people. It was profound. I can't think of another word. And this was only 85 years ago, 90 years ago. So it was quite daunting, you know, to be there in the streets where Schindler was, you know, dressed up obviously in period costume, you know, doing these scenes with Ray Fiennes and Ben Kingsley and working with Stephen. And it was I never once thought, oh, I'm starring in a film. It was just, I'm part of telling the most horrendous story that's happened. Humanity, all of us, particularly the Jewish people. And that still has an effect on me. Star Wars Episode 1, The Phantom Menace.
Moisture farms, for the most part. Some indigenous tribes and scavengers. The few spaceports like this one are havens for those that don't wish to be found.
Like us.
And the first time Ewan McGregor and I had to draw our lightsabers, you know, I remember we both made the sound at the exact same time. George said, boys, you don't have to do that. We can add that stuff. Oh, okay, sorry. George doesn't like directing, period. He told me that. He'd finish a scene, he'd say, Natalie, a little bit faster. Liam, a little bit faster there. Editing, sweet. Afterwards, yeah, that's when he starts enjoying the process, but actually directing actors and stuff. He told me he doesn't like it at all.
So was it hard to train for those scenes?
No, it wasn't hard, but we had aluminum swords, so we trained with those. On the day, we had shortened aluminum with green tape on them. Mine was green tape. And then the special effects guys would add the rest of the lightsaber. I had done a few of those types of fights, you know, cowboys in armor, I call them. But it was good. Yeah, it was good working with Ewan. I thought my death was a bit namby-pamby. I'm supposed to be a Master Jedi, you know. character fell for that. Oh, I'm going for your face. No, I'm not. I'm going for your stomach. Oh, you got me. It's like, oh, please. Hardly a Master Jedi. But still, it was great. And all the cameras, I remember, all had wires coming out of them going to guys on laptop computers and stuff. It was very strange. I remember I had a scene with the kid that was going to be Darth Vader, lovely wee actor, and this flying, talk like that, which I had never seen before. So I'm getting my makeup on that morning, and Morag was my makeup lady, I remember. I said, Morag, this is quite a big scene. I have quite a bit of dialogue with this thing. And she said, Liam, you could be a monkey smoking a pipe. No one's going to be looking at you. They're all going to be looking at this thing, you know? Which was kind of true, you know.
You actually returned to the role for the Disney series. What drew you back to the character?
Oh, it was just one little scene. Obi-Wan's coming in on a camel and sort of said, Master, I've been looking for you everywhere, or something like that. And I say, I've always been here. I kind of like that. It was just, I had just one line. It was nice to recreate that. And be with Ewan after, I don't know, 18, 20 years, you know. It was sweet, yeah. There's so many branches of Star Wars now. I think it's over. Michael Collins.
The alternative to this treaty is a war which nobody in this gathering can even contemplate. If the price of freedom, the price of peace, is the blackening of my name, I will gladly pay it.
Well, I've known Neil for many, many years. We had done a couple of films before Michael Collins. And then Neil had a success with a film with Interview with a Vampire. Tom Cruise, Brad Pitt, and it made some money. And I think it was David Geffen, the producer, who asked Neil what he wanted to do next. And Neil said, I'd love to do this. Tell the story of Michael Collins. So David was responsible for getting Warner Brothers to invest in it. The movie took about 12, 13 years to come together because there was still a war going on in the north of Ireland. And Michael Collins was and still is a highly controversial figure in Irish politics, British politics. He died in 1922 after an ambush. He was highly controversial, not least because he's regarded as the founding father of modern-day terrorism, and that he invented a cell of 3 people, a cell of 2 people, a different cell of 4 people, each cell not knowing what the other's up to because they were very, very concerned about informers in those days. So Collins kind of invented that, you know. Taken. If you're looking for ransom, I can tell you I don't have money, but what I do have are a very particular set of skills. Skills I've acquired over a very long career. Skills that make me a nightmare for people like you.
What moment did you realize Taken was going to be this cultural phenomenon?
Well, I didn't. I mean, I've said it before, but when I did it, I thought this is going straight to video, this little story, which was fine. It gave me a chance to be in Paris for 6, 7 weeks, doing lots of fight stuff. We shot that first one 18 years ago, I think it was. But no, I didn't imagine it would be as successful as it was. Far from it. And it was a good, tight script, don't get me wrong. The writing was wonderful, but it was really taut little script, you know. But, well, there's no but. I just was surprised. Darkman.
Do you consider Darkman an underrated film in your body of work?
Darkman, I think, was of its time. Yeah. And we shot it in 1990, I think it was. Some people have told me it's the start of all these superhero movies. That I don't know, but it was an intense time. And it was long, long hours with makeup and stuff. And But a delight working with Sam Raimi, you know. Very inspired director, you know. And a lovely zany quality to the whole film too, you know. And I remember because also I was preparing to play this bare-knuckle boxer immediately afterwards to shoot Scotland. The days were long, you know, but fun. They were fun. Batman Begins.
When a forest grows too wild, a purging fire is inevitable and natural. Tomorrow, the world will watch in horror as its greatest city destroys itself. The movement back to harmony will be unstoppable this time.
I was shooting a Ridley Scott film, Kingdom of Heaven, in Spain at the time. And Chris came out to see me. I'd never met him before. Very, very quiet and tense man. Talked about this part. I wasn't sure. I mean, Batman. It's like, yeah, here we go, yeah. Anyway, push came to shove again. And found myself working with Christian Bale. Studio, Shepperton, I think it was, in London. Yeah, I was kind of surprised at its success. And I liked the film because it was dark. It wasn't glossy superhero stuff, you know. It was quite pretty dark and intense. I wasn't on it for the whole shoot, you know. I don't know, 2-3 weeks or something. You know. Christian's he's an intense actor, and he had played a part where he had to get very, very skinny for. I mean, very skinny. When I met him when we were rehearsing fight scenes and stuff, he was quite bloated. He had put on weight after being so incredibly thin, you know. A really good actor. Yeah, I had a lovely time with Christian, yeah. The Naked Gun. That was awesome.
What drew you to this role?
Look, I was a fan of the original films. I was. And I was very flattered and honored that Seth MacFarlane called me. And I knew Seth a little bit. Said they were going to reboot this franchise. And he was interested in me playing Frank Drebin Jr. I had no illusions about being a comedy actor at all. It was just, I liked Seth. Very, very wicked sense of humor. Very intelligent man. So I knew they would get together a good script. And the script only got better and better the more we worked on it, you know. Working with Pamela was a joy. She's become a new pal, I'm proud to say. And she's terrific in the role. She's a kind of femme fatale, but she's got all other colors attached to her too. You know? A vulnerability and a certain innocence. And I loved working with her. Absolutely loved it. GQ, thank you. Please go and see Naked Gun in theaters now. Otherwise, I will come for you, and I will find you.